Thank you very much. Again, I am joining with others. I'm very, very happy to see this bill taking committee stage. I hope we'll see it again very soon for report stage. I think it's something that has been pressed for such a long time, and I want to commend all of those, indeed those in civil society and who have pushed for it. I remember it being one of the issues we fought for back in the Women's Council when I was there. Roisin Shortall and Catherine Murphy, who brought it this bill through to the Dáil, Labour for giving this time, and the technical group indeed for giving time to it today, and indeed Fianna Fáil and Sinn Féin and others who support it. What I think is the key point is that everybody who knows families and knows the kinds of decisions and choices that they're having to make and knows how important it is to them to be able to plan their lives is coming to a point of support on this bill and has come to a point of support. And I really hope that the government will join in that recognition and join in the importance of it. We know that Ireland is one of the higher figures of women dropping out of the workforce at a certain point, and it's been an outlier. It's something that's actually been raised in the country-specific recommendations that Ireland has got from Europe, because it's one of the problems. And you look to people, and the decision that is made is not often a decision that somebody may have studied for, work they're passionate about. The decision is made under pressure. The decision is made because there's key crunch times that come along in families' lives when they cannot make the balance. And that can be, and I was very disappointed to see some business lobbyists coming in with concerns around this bill and talking about the loss of skills at short notice. The loss of skills to us as society, when we have women, predominantly women, dropping out of the workforce after years of training, after acquiring a level of knowledge, and then finding themselves, as was described, I think I had some of similar letters to those outlined by Senator Norris, knowing that when they go out it's going to be very, very hard for them to get back into the ladder, to come in at that senior level. I mean, this is a fundamental problem, and it's one of the ones we can cut off at the root. So I really think this is long overdue. It's very, very necessary. I support the amendments. I would note maybe two areas where I think we will need to strengthen this, and we need to mark it. This bill is modest. This is unpaid leave. But I do think that we're going to have to look at paid leave, because people have lives, and we need to plan for integrated lives. And rather than the quarterly return of any one company, we need to look to the big picture of a sustainable economy and a sustainable society. And building into that, employers need to plan that parts of their workforce, be they men or women, will be taking leave at different times for different reasons. And it will need to be paid. And we will also need to look to, and I think it's so important that this goes to 12. Because, as I think Senator Humphreys described, many of those who've contacted me and talked to me, that's when children have difficulties potentially. Children have difficulties at transition points in their lives, and parents want to be able to support them. However, I would also note that in the long term, we need to look to 18. And this is a blind spot that we have. When we look at the Vincentian partner readership, we look at difficulties people have, and this particularly affects those who are parenting alone. It's an issue I've raised with your colleague, Minister Doherty, in relation to, at the moment, our supports for those parenting alone. Once the child hits 14, that balancing job that a parent is doing disappears. And I've called for job seeker transition, which recognises the balance of work and care that parents are trying to do, that the job seeker transitional payments would continue till the child was 18, rather than a parent moving into job seekers allowance, and that balancing job disappearing. And similarly, I think there will be key points of 15, 14, 16 down the line when 2 or 3 extra days from a parent can make that crucial difference. So down the line, that's where we're going. But for now, this is a huge step forward and a positive step forward. I'm glad that we're all supporting it. And maybe my last point I would note, we are really just in this case, and Minister, I would encourage you to look to this as well. We have a new EU work-life balance communique that has come out. We have a new position from the Parliament, the Council and the Commission that they've agreed that is driving us to look at work-life balance. That's going to become a directive in the near future, most likely. So it's important that Ireland would get ahead and would be in a position to be one of the champions within Europe of the work-life directive, and of making sure that all those other elements there, for example, flexible working arrangements, rights to carers leave, that they are carried forward as well. I commend both the amendments, which I think strengthen the bill, and I commend Senator Batchik and others for giving their time to bring this bill forward, and I hope we can all support it today. Thanks.